All right, so it was 1939, and Russia and Germany meet together and they come up with the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Now, what this did was it promised that neither nation would attack each other, but it also said this is how we're going to divide the nations of Eastern Europe between the two of us. Yet in 1941, without warning or anything like that, Adolf Hitler sent his tanks across the Russian border in a sneak attack. Well, Adolf Hitler had no intention of keeping his word whenever he signed that pact. The reason he did that was to get them off their guard. They no longer had to worry about Germany because they had a pact with them, because they were told that it would only be that they would never be attacked and that they would divide these countries and all those things. You know, the devil acts a lot like that with us spiritually. The devil will come to us and he will say, hey, listen, this sin isn't that bad, but here, I'll tell you what. You do this and we won't go any farther, okay? You go this far with a member of the opposite sex and we're not going to go all the way, okay? We're not doing that. We're not wicked, we're not doing that, but we're just going to go here. But he has no intention of keeping his promise. There's no intention of that pact being signed that he's actually going to keep his word. In fact, in John 8, Christ calls him the father of lies. So there's no promise that he's going to keep that. There's no promise keeping that he's going to adhere to, because he's going to lie about it. He's going to take you farther than you want to go. That's why in 2 Corinthians 10, Paul talks about our spiritual warfare. And he says, for though we walk in flesh, in verse 3, we do not war according to the flesh. In other words, we don't take tanks across. It's not like we're like, all right, Satan, get ready, buddy. I'm coming with a tank. We don't do that. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, in other words, not fleshly, but mighty in God for pulling down strongholds, casting down arguments and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, bringing every thought into captivity to the obedience of Christ. So our warfare is not carnal. It's not a World War II. We're not fighting with guns and knives and tanks and all those different things. We're not doing that. We are fighting against a spiritual warfare where Satan will come to us and say, hey, just do this. It's not that bad. Hey, I know you think it is, but don't worry about it. You're not going to take the next step after this. Your one sip of alcohol will not lead to you being an alcoholic. Don't worry about it. Your one hit on that joint is not going to lead to you being addicted to drugs. Okay, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. But just like Adolf Hitler, he has no intention of keeping that pact. No intention whatsoever. And so Paul tells us, hey, we need to take these things, and if there's something in our life that Satan says, hey, don't worry about this, we need to say, okay, Christ, does this go against who you are? And if so, it's our spiritual warfare, and we bring down that stronghold through the power of Christ, not with physical hands, but with spiritual swords, okay? We take God's word and we bring down the stronghold, because sin will always take you farther than you want to go. It will always break the pact that you made with it. Get rid of it.